The South African stainless steel industry was pioneered by personalities such as William Blaylock, Jack Mader and Frank Bath. With their input, the first stainless steel ingot was cast in 1966 and the first stainless steel plate in 1967 in South Africa. In July of 1964, Leo Melville and Gordon Jones formed Sassda. It was established that the primary functions of Sassda would be to bring stockists and fabricators together to promote the image of stainless steel, to engage in suitable publicity and other activities, and to provide a technical service to its members. The first meeting was attended by 6 firms. The marketing and technical support of stainless steel was pioneered by the distributors and fabricators. The first 4 distributors were Jackson's, Avesta, Robor and Fargista. Southern Cross was officially opened on the 29th of May 1967, and Sassda's first technical director was appointed in the form of Henry Snow. Henry Snow was instrumental in the acceptance of painted 430 stainless. The first stainless steel symposium took place in 1969, giving Sassda a definite pointer as an independent body acting on behalf of a growing industry. A photograph taken at the event was submitted to the African Museum. Henry Snow was joined in 1970 by Rodney Ranger as development engineer and Jill Burrell as librarian, increasing the staff complement to 3. Rodney Ranger went on to become the next technical director after Henry Snow. The first sectors were formed in 1971, namely the heavy and light gauge stainless steel fabricators, together with the hollowware manufacturer sector to rationalize the importation of stainless steel fabricated plant and equipment, much of which could be locally made. 1972 saw Brian Smaller becoming chairman of Sassda, a position he was to hold on and off for 10 years. He'll be remembered for his unique sense of humor and a bottomless supply of jokes. He became the longest-standing chairman of Sassda. 1973 saw the launch of the stainless steel mark, the cross and balls, to identify stainless steel products produced in South Africa. Bert Fiander became chairman of Sassda in 1973. He held the position until 1975 and was recognized as being one of the most experienced fabricators of stainless steel. A Heavy Fabricators Association was founded in 1975, initiated by Dave Rowlands, who was appointed as executive director with Bert Fiander as chairman and Arthur Goodwin as vice chairman. The HFA was responsible for the inclusion of the stainless steel and plate index in CIFSA bulletins and published a national coding system for stainless steel materials. In 1976, MS&A diversified its production to include light-gauge cold-rolled products, which saw the consumer wear industry grow. In 1979, a collaboration between Toyota South Africa, Jackson's and Southern Cross Steel saw the production of South Africa's first production line stainless steel motor car, as 3 Renault 5TS models with stainless steel bodies, wheels and exhaust systems were manufactured using standard motor assembly equipment. In 1980, the marketing of stainless steel was done in earnest by MS&A management, led by Leo Melville, Don Maxwell, Don Carroll, John Hall, Eric Smith and Colin Butcher, known socially as the Glee Club. They traveled the country, entertaining customers and staff at Christmas parties. Dave Rowlands went on to become the executive director of Sassda in 1981. A long-standing love of Dave's has been the sea, and upon his resignation in 1985, went on to follow his dream of sailing around the world. Don Maxwell initiated the Wine Industry Development Program, where he persuaded the wine industry to replace mild steel wine tanks with stainless steel tanks. Today, stainless steel has become the standard material in the industry. The use of 430 ferritic stainless steel was gaining ground in the wine and sugar industries due to the efforts of men like Don Maxwell, Ian Elsden-Dew, Eric Smith and Chris Versace. However, 430 proved difficult to cut and became brittle when welded, requiring further research. Hannes Hoffmann, with assistance from Dr. Rainer Dietrich and Ken Dewar, started the early test work that would lead to the invention of 3CR12. The team was later joined by Dave Martin. A plant trial heat was produced, which was out of spec, as the nickel was too high, due to washout in the ladle from a previous austenitic heat. Nonetheless, the steel was tested and proved tough, even when welded, unlike normal ferritics. Dave Walker, from marketing, initiated the name C3R12, described as a chromium-containing corrosion-resisting steel. The brand name of the steel was shortened to 3CR, and then became 3CR12. The 12 was brought in to indicate similar corrosion resistance to the 12% chromium AISI 409, from which it was originally developed. The double meaning of CR and CR is obvious and intentional. 3CR12 was commercially launched in 1981, not only in South Africa but internationally, and resulted in large tonnages going into coal wagons as well as the sugar and mining industries. The most successful application of 3CR12 has been in the manufacture of coal wagons both in South Africa and abroad. Electrification masts manufactured in 1982 by Alloy Fab and managed by the Hempel brothers were installed in Port Elizabeth and are still in excellent condition, despite being exposed to a severe marine environment for the past 30 years. Dr. George Milan took over his position as Executive Director in 1985 and was closely involved with the Department of Trade and Industry on import control and customs tariffs. During his time at Sassda, he assisted the industry in obtaining realistic protection against finished products, especially when imported at disruptively low prices. A new levy system was introduced on locally produced stainless materials in 1985, which replaced the annual contribution by MS&A, making Sassda an independent association. In 1986, Sassda introduced their stainless steel education courses. A continuous weld mill for the production of stainless steel tubing was established by Stewarts & Lloyds in 1986, which established the tube and pipe market in South Africa. Leading the industry was Yardley Yates, Erich Kotchenmacher and John Lang, which led to the start of the tube and pipe sector. Ian Elsden-Dew became Executive Director in 1987 and was recognized as the founder of Olsen's Brew. An industry survey showed that more sectorization was needed so that members could interact in various fields. This led to the start of the casting sector, the stockist sector, and the Zinc Manufacturers Association. In 1988, the consumer wear sector was under fire as more and more cheap imported goods were coming into the country. An ice hockey commercial was developed by MS&A, demonstrating the strength of pots and pans, and was named Television Ad of the Year. 1989 marked the 25th anniversary of Sassda. In 25 years, the production of stainless steel had grown from 4,300 tons to 75,000 tons, and Sassda had expanded its membership to 200 companies. Sports days were arranged around the country in celebration and have been held every year since, becoming an industry highlight. The 2011 event stands out as the golf day was abandoned due to snowfall. In the 1990s, stainless steel exhaust started to become more commonplace. In 1995, government and industry worked together on the MIDP program, which resulted in South Africa becoming one of the major international suppliers of catalytic converters. The fabricator sector, under the chairmanship of Duncan Veal, was one of the most prominent sectors, and in 1990, 11 HFA members, headed by Ian Elston-Dew, put together a tour to Europe and the UK to visit fabricators and producers on the lookout for marketing opportunities, as well as the possibility of technology transfer. The information series was published by Sassda in 1992, and today is hailed internationally and adopted worldwide as the basis of education programs. The Sassda stand at Zimbabwe's International Trade Fair received the Gold Award for Developing Nations. It was the first time South Africa had won this award. After serving as chairman of Sassda from 1986 to 1987, Dave Slater went on to become executive director in March 1994. His biggest passion was vintage cars. In 1996, he entered his vintage Chrysler into an international rally commemorating 100 years of motoring. With the new cold rolling mill came the capability of producing the full range of stainless steels. Conferences held nationwide with international guest speakers helped build the cold roll market in the architectural, building and construction sectors. In 1989, the architectural and building construction sector was formed. This sector has grown from strength to strength and is now one of the strongest sectors in Sassda. In 1996, Sassda appointed regional representatives in the Western Cape and KwaZulu-Natal. Klaus Weber and Peter Rousseau played supporting roles in Sassda's educational and promotional activities and were available for help and advice in these regions. Dave launched the Stainless Steel Awards in October of 1998, which took place at the Hilton Hotel in Sandton and marked the first ever stainless steel awards in the world of its kind. At the turn of the century, Sassda's main focus had shifted to bridging the gap between the stainless steel industry, government and other role players who would determine the future of the industry. The introduction of the Tank Tainer Association, SATCA, in 1998 gave the opportunity for local South African companies to enter into the international market, with Wellfit Oddy being one of the initial companies involved. They're still going strong today. SATCA also played a role in localization of the industry. In February 1998, a business development unit within Sassda was formed, which works closely with the DTI and IDC to focus on specific industry sectors, assisting them to develop into world competitive suppliers. Sassda, DTI, IDC, NUMSA and Columbus embarked on a campaign to promote business partnering within the stainless industry called Partnering for Growth. Oliver Dam was appointed as Executive Director from 2002. During this time, a 3CR12 conference was held, as well as an ISSF Executive Committee meeting hosted by Sassda. In 2006, Michael Campbell took over as Executive Director and launched the Importers Levy in March 2007. He was instrumental in reworking the basic stainless steel course and brought Catherine Huska, an internationally acclaimed expert on stainless steel architecture, to South Africa for the first time in 2007. Tim Raff took over in 2008 and relaunched the Pantechnicon, which was previously used in the marketing of 3CR12. The Pantechnicon traveled throughout the country, showcasing what stainless steel has to offer the market. Setaki Homo, became Sassda's executive director in 2010 and initiated an ongoing strategy liaising with government on issues such as imports and manufacturing industry support. During this time, Bernard Maguire was appointed as chairman of Sassda, and under his guidance in 2011, Sassda committed to a back-to-basics philosophy, appointing Bill Skerr as executive director. The past 50 years have seen Sassda growing from strength to strength, all thanks to the past chairman. The next 50 years promises even greater things, as the future looks both shiny and bright for Sassda, now under the leadership of John Tarbiton and the Sassda board.